So they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Author and writer Susan Gale said, someone never really knows their strengths until they come face to face with their greatest weaknesses. 11 months ago, I faced one of those weaknesses. June 25th, 2018, to be exact. That day was what I thought the end for me. What I didn't realize at the time, it was also the beginning of a new me. It was the beginning of summer. 3 of my 4 children were with their dad, and my oldest daughter, Zyla, who was 17 at the time, she decided to stay with me because she didn't want me to be by myself. It was Monday, it was bright, it was sunny, it was hot, because if you know the valley, mid-June, midday, yeah, we're perspiring. We're indoors, we're in the AC, because ain't nobody trying to be outside. So me and my daughter had decided that we were going to commit to transform our body on the outside. So we start working out. We're working out that day. We got our workout gear on. We've got the music blasting. We're pumping iron. We're getting it. My phone rings. It says, bro. Oh, my big brother's calling me. Let me run and get the phone. Hello? What's up, brother? 2 words was all it took for him to say to change everything for me. Just 2 words. Mom's dead. Didn't register to me at the time. My mom wasn't sick. She wasn't old. She didn't have an illness. She wasn't dying in a hospital somewhere. My mom was on Facebook at 11:30 the night before, ranting and raging and pissing everyone off on these Trump debates and I don't know what else, because that was my mom. She loved a good argument. I didn't have a dad actively involved in my life. It was just my mom. So my daughter and myself, we get in my car, we fly from Raleigh to El Centro in like 5-7 minutes. Don't ask me how, but I got there. Get to my mom's house, run to my mom's room, and sure enough, there's my mom, looking peacefully asleep on her bed, laying the way she normally lays all the time, remote in hand. I curled up and lay next to my mother for 4 hours until the coroners came for her body. In those 4 hours, I remembered every single memory since I could remember up until that day of my mom. Taking care of me when I was sick, taking me to practice, going to my tournaments, everything. I remembered every little thing. The only man I had in my life was my grandfather, my mom's father, because he lived with us since I can remember. But the day my mom passed away, I lost a lot. Like many of yours, my mom was my everything. She was my go-to. She's who I called when I needed something, when I needed a babysitter, when I needed 20 bucks for gas, because I was always riding on E. She was my weakness. She was my strength. She was my rock. So when I buried her, I buried my rock. And in my eyes, I buried my strength. Three of my children are wrestlers. And if I have any wrestlers in the audience or any wrestling family, you might be able to relate. As a wrestling mom and coach, we're constantly slamming our hands on those mats, encouraging our children not to give up. It's not over till it's over. If he brings you down, you keep fighting till you get back up. Don't stay on your back. And we never lose. We only win or we learn. A few months after I buried my mom, I took my children to one of the tournaments. I saw my son dominate his bracket, and then it was time for me to go to my daughter's corner. 11 years old, second-year wrestler, mid-season. Been watching her get tossed around Sunday after Sunday. This tournament came up. She had a lot more matches than what she normally does. After her first couple of losses, she comes to me with tears in her eyes. And she says, "Mommy, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of being a loser. No. We're not losing. We're learning. And this loss is gonna make you better. Don't give up. You have a couple more matches after this. Don't let this loss define you or your next match. I'm here. My baby girl came home second place that day. Here I've been for the past 4 years telling my other kids and her how not to give up, keep fighting, keep going. But yet life knocked me down. And I was giving up. And I was letting my loss define me. It was then that I realized I never buried my rock. I became the rock. How you doing? Yesterday I buried my mother's father. The only man that I knew as a dad, actually. And the strength that I gained these last 11 months through everything we've gone through is the same strength that I'm using to stand here before you today and share my story in hopes that it might help one of you who may be going through the same thing. That's my story. Thank you.